A very good morning to you, Alicia, and thank you very much for your time this morning. So talk to us about the situation you guys are facing and what exactly has been the issue that you've had in this particular 5-6 months of the COVID-19 pandemic.
All right. Yes. So what's been happening over the last couple of months have been because of the lockdowns and the restrictions in and out of the country, the very few flights available to South Africans, not just locally but also abroad. It's been really difficult to identify donors locally for our local patients to donate their stem cells. A vast majority of our products that we identify for local patients need to come in from abroad. And the local restrictions have made that rather difficult. We were forced to ultimately bring that product in as a cryopreserved product that was cargoed and then shipped as cargo into South Africa. Furthermore, due to the high rate of infection, so many of our already registered donors were either unwilling or unable to come forward to donate for their patients.
You're saying that some of them who are registered have been unwilling. Have they given reason for this? Because, I mean, this is a life-saving initiative to donate blood, but you're saying that some of them are unwilling. Do they say why?
Yes, it's really just for the sake of being careful. They hear on the news and on the radio everywhere that it is dangerous to go out, that they need to stay inside and take care of themselves, socially distance themselves from others, and avoid at all costs to go to a medical center if they are not sick themselves, especially if they're sick, to go to a COVID-specific medical center. So people who are completely healthy would then avoid going to a medical place to, whether it be donate stem cells or just donate blood. So we did see a decline in people being willing to go out and register as donors or just come forward if they've been identified.
Alicia, pardon me if I may be phrasing this incorrectly, but how low is the bank that you guys have given the 5 or 6 months we've had in COVID?
So we haven't really seen a serious decline in our total registry because we've been keeping up registering stem cell donors online. So via the virtual environment, you can go to our website, www.sabmr.co.za, and still answer the qualifying questions, complete the application form. And there are depots outside of medical centers where you can go and fetch your kit and complete the mouth swab to register as a stem cell donor. So while we have found some people to be unwilling to come forward to be the donors, we have still been recruiting many new donors. Our database currently stands at around 74,000 South African volunteer donors.
So obviously COVID-19 has seen us get to level 1 now, but coronavirus is still very much prevalent, and we are still tackling this enemy that we cannot even see. Are you able to maybe say if it'll do the bank justice, the registry justice, now that we're down to level 1, or are you still having to deal with the fact that people are not comfortable with coming forward?
Well, I think that this week, as an organization, we've sighed a great relief. We're greatly relieved due to the fact that the president has opened up the borders again. We are optimistic that there would be more flights available coming in and out of the country. Some other international centers, they are seeing a slight increase again in infection rates, but it's really well managed this time around because everybody is more aware and the precautions are in place. So it's really a big relief for us to know that we can bring in the fresh product again.
For our viewers who may not know what exactly we are discussing at the moment, are you able to just shed some more light on this particular registry and what it does, and the bone marrow initiative that you guys are driving, and what exactly you guys are trying to do when you say you want to save some lives? Just shed some light and educate people who may not know.
Absolutely. So what we do at the South African Bone Marrow Registry is we manage and maintain a database of volunteer stem cell donors. So you might register today and you might only be found to be a match for a patient in a month or 3 months, a year, maybe 10 years from now, because the matching requires that you are quite identical to someone on a genetic level, the likelihood of you being a match is far greater if both patient and donor is from the same ethnic background, which means that we really need a very, very good spread of donors from all ethnicities and all races, all walks of life. Especially at the moment, we need more donors of color to join our database, because our database is not representative of the South African population. So once you are found to be a genetic match for a patient suffering from some blood disorder like leukemia or lymphoma, then we will ask you to come in for some more tests just to verify that you are the most suitable donor. And then on the day of donation, we will simply take the stem cells from your arm. So there's no drilling into the bones or serious invasive procedures that you have to go through. It will take about 4 to 6 hours. You'll be connected to a machine in a completely isolated medical room, and yes, you can bring a friend along. And I know I make it sound like it's the simplest thing to do, but effectively what you're doing is you're giving another person a second chance at life. The product that we get from you, the stem cells we get from you, is absolutely life-saving, and it has the potential to cure a patient's cancer.
Alicia, there are myths that need to be debunked about everything, especially when it involves, somebody giving a part of themselves for another person. What are some of the myths that you've found need debunking about the donation of blood?
That's a really great question. I think the first one is, as I just mentioned, we are not drilling into your hip bones or into your bone marrow and then sucking it out. It is like, I don't want to say it's as simple as a blood donation. It's more common, like what they call platelet donation. So it takes a little bit longer. You do need to get some injections for a couple of days prior to the stem cell collection, just to stimulate your bone marrow to make those extra stem cells. Because of this stimulation, your bone marrow actually makes more stem cells than your own body needs. So we are not taking something from you that you yourself will need later on. Your body will just recover whatever cells you've lost. But through the stimulation process in the days leading up to the donation, your body will make more than what you need. So we'll be just taking off that little bit of extra for the patient. I think it's incredibly important to realize that the recovery period is almost next to nothing. Many people go home and go back to work the very next day. It's a simple process. A lot of the donors we've spoken to, they have said that if they're asked to do it again tomorrow, they'll just jump at the opportunity.
Alicia Venter, thank you so much for your time this morning.